So Fnatic were the only team to go flawless in this year's VCT. They went 9-0 in the EMEA split. And their last game was against perhaps their biggest rivals, Navi. And so we're going to take a look at how they won this game here on Split. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at 5 rounds in a row where Navi decided to attack the A site, and we'll see some of the little micro adjustments that each team is making to all of these A site execs in a row. And we'll start here with round number 7. And so Fnatic here, they've gone for a bit of a retake setup, as you can kind of see here. We've got Alfa and Chronicle here, both just playing in heaven. They've got a trip actually to stop the updraft here from a jet, and they've got a trip just across the site there as well. To try and, potentially get a kill from. The camera is here, which can obviously see down towards both the ramp there and towards the site itself. But you can clearly kind of tell that this setup is meant to be, we're just going to try and hold on to this space here, so that when we then go for a retake on the A site, if they do come to A, we can then come in through 1, 2, 3 different ways to the A site and hopefully pinch on the players on the site itself and go for that good retake. So let's take a look at how this round plays out. We're going to start off with Navi just coming in towards the site. Of course, they send in the flash, they send in the gate crash, they send in the fake Euroclone, which is actually going to destroy the trip here. So there won't be a kill there for Fnatic off the trip. They send in the stun. CNED dashes in pretty shallow dash here from CNED, not going too deep into the site, kind of staying around the team. And Fnatic are kind of just chilling. They're kind of just happy to say, okay, yep, this is what we wanted, right? We've held on to these areas up here, right? If we're kind of chilling here, to be honest. They send out the dog just here. That's going to go and destroy this trip. And so now we're ready to go for this retake. And the Seekers come out here from Fnatic. So the Seekers are now coming out, and obviously Navi probably thinking that that's the go button for this retake from Fnatic. What happens is Zipan decides, okay, we're going to slow this down because I'm going to breach ult now to make sure that you aren't going in with those Seekers, and we can kind of deal with that. We see that Shao teleports up here on the platform. He does get hit by his own team's breach ult, but he manages to stay on the platform just there. The problem is for Zipan, he tries to reposition to get this nice little crossfire between these 3. But the problem for him is the Seeker does actually see him kind of going this way, and Fnatic are going to, notice that he has crossed across just there. So you see Chronicle is ready to aftershock him, but unfortunately for Chronicle, the aftershock just misses. Shao's going to put a smoke down here as well for Navi. And so we end up in this situation where Fnatic have 4 players ready to come and take down ramp, and Boaster is in a position now where he's going to Omen flash down here as well. It will catch Shao, it won't quite catch Zipan, but they also send a Sky Flash in there as well. And so it looks like these guys are going to be absolutely destroyed, and Fnatic are then, once they've got these kills, going to be ready to come in onto the site and destroy anyone there as well. The problem for them is Suigetsu, who's just hiding in this smoke just here, and Suigetsu is going to destroy them in this round.
Position, and no damage found.
By a lot of time, actually.
Paranoia didn't quite find his target. Actually, yes, it did. Tell a lie, but it's Suigetsu from above, finding 3. And CNED, a parting gift towards Boaster, and Chronicle feeling left down in this round, behind the smoke, unable to try and close down any of these kills, trade any. That's the first. Second found, 2 more, not gonna happen.
Now let's come to the next round though, because Fnatic had clearly changed their ideas from that last round. This time not playing so much for a retake because Alfa is going to be actually on the site himself this time. Perhaps noticing that, Navi seemed not that interested with really taking up towards Heaven Control and were happy in their post plant having just taken the site. And so Fnatic decided, well then, okay, let's try and defend the site itself a bit more. You see the trips this time, a bit more for the site itself just here. For Alfa, he still does have that camera towards Heaven because this camera isn't getting destroyed, and therefore it's good information. And Navi, you can see, are just going to come in and do their normal exec here. Send in the flash, the Yoru clone goes in, and in they start to come for Navi. So then goes the stun just there, the Omen flash as well. Chronicle will send out a stun himself, right, just to try and delay this here. But Angel is about to TP up towards the kind of backside just there, you can see, and there he goes, right? And Alfa obviously hears this TP going across just there, and we can see by the map that Alfa is just going to turn out, and he's going to start spamming happening here. He's going to start shooting at Angel, and Angel starts to take some damage as well. And so that obviously means that Navi know that, yeah, Alfia is in the back site, and he's going to be a problem that they're going to have to deal with. And you'll see just in a second that that means that some of these players are going to be looking down towards this way, right, rather than focusing on anything else, maybe towards heaven, as you will see, because CNED, he's going to dash in, and he's now going to hit this trip by dashing in towards this way just here. So similar dash to last time, but this time he's going to get caught by the trip because it didn't get destroyed by the Yoru clone. But now you can see that the focus of these Navi players is on where is Alfia, where is he on this back site, and Chronicle from this position is going to destroy them.
Problem. Angel going to be caught a little bit here, and actually Chronicle, perfect timing, and Navi fall like flies. Chronicle, insanity on the hold, 4 gorgeous kills.
So now let's come to round number 9. You can see that we're already a bit into this round. Navi have kind of just defaulted a bit, see what's going on. Not too much has happened at this point in the round. Fnatic are just dogging in towards mid. But you can see, again, Fnatic have changed their setup. This is actually off a Navi timeout, and I think you can tell some of the little micro adjustments that we saw from the timeout. One is obviously this trip back here, which, you know, is kind of being a bit of a counter for the Yoru here, potentially. You know, a very, very deep trip here. Obviously kind of trying to counter any TPs, you know, as Angel is trying to TP back here. Maybe I'm trying to run either side of that trip. And you can see, again, we've got kind of a bit of a retake setup in this one for Fnatic as well, with just Alfia in here towards heaven. Again, trying to find kills potentially off these trips to then go for a retake. But unfortunately for them, this time Angel doesn't TP kind of towards the backside. He instead just comes towards this box. But again, we get this you know, take of the site here from Navi as they come in, and you can see they get in onto the site. Now, a little adaptation as well here is from CNED, because CNED is not going to dash where he did before. You can see he dashes deeper in on towards the site this time instead, and gets himself into this position instead. But now, the trip actually does go off and catches Angel anyway, but you could see instantly the adaptation by Navi by just the way that these guys are looking. Look at where Zipan is looking right now. He's focused on heaven. He's laser focused on heaven because they know that Fnatic probably want to go like they did in that last round and Navi got destroyed by it. Someone fast flooding through these areas, and that is what Fnatic want to try and do here. Alfia even actually has a double cage setup here on heaven to potentially allow him to maybe even escape down or potentially spam through and get a kill from one of these trips. But they're ready for it, and you can see that CNED as well is going to have his crosshair fixated here as he destroys that strip. He's just instantly looking now towards heaven and waiting for that flood to come out. And actually you see that Navi, they don't, even though the spike here is with Angel, they don't even really think about going and planting the spike just yet, because they probably know that Fnatic are wanting to go for this fast flood, and therefore they don't really need to go and plant the spike because this round will be over even before they do. So you see CNED, as soon as these cages go up, he spams Alfia out just there. A Breachel actually comes out here from Chronicle as well towards the site. So again, no need to go and plant the spike. We need to fight this as a team first. And obviously with the ult coming out from CT, now the focus does start to go towards that. Angel does actually get caught by this and then gets aftershocked here by Chronicle, and he will die to that. But Durka now is trying to flood out with that ult as well. But he's going to be caught unawares here by Xiao down in towards hell kind of thing here. So he just basically runs into Xiao. Angel will die to this aftershock, and Chronicle spamming him just there. But now, as kind of the timing is gone for that Breachel, and they've kind of lost that time window, now this smoke is going to start to fade, and the Navi players are going to start to swing on these Fnatic players just as that smoke does fade, and it's an unfortunate timing for them there, and they manage to get the kills. And as I said, we end up in a 4v1 for Boaster here. The spike didn't get planted, but for Navi, it did not matter. Now on to the very next round, round number 10, and Navi have an interesting idea to start this one off. They got the Yoru gate crash going across the different site, but Angel's just going to make some noise here. He sends in a flash just there. He gets hit by the sky flash just to keep Fnatic a bit busy here, but then he's going to TP across back towards that A site again, and they're going to get ready to do another A exec, as you can see just here. But this time Fnatic's setup is different again, because now they've realized that okay, this fast flood thing that we're trying to do, that isn't working. So what do? This time we let Alfia fight. We want Alfia to be part of this fight, and then therefore any kind of, you know, fast flood we can go for, we're going to pinch on them in this area, right? We know that they're staying in these areas, kind of holding maybe for heaven and waiting for these fights. So now let's fight them from a different angle as well and make it impossible to be in this space, right? And that's exactly what happens just here. You still see this got the same camera, and there's really no need to not keep doing this camera because at this point, you know, it still wasn't getting destroyed. So in comes another exec. Again, we see CNET here going for a deeper dash in towards the site. Maybe again with the idea that, you know, Alfia won't be here, so, you know, I can just chill and kind of fight this from a different angle and whatnot. Unfortunately, though, the cages go up here and here, and so CNET gets the idea probably that Alfia is somewhere close, because otherwise, why is he putting these cages here? And you'll see that, yeah, CNET's looking for Alfia in the cages, right? He kind of knows that he's probably about somewhere, but Alfia is able to win that fight, and now with the cages is able to survive as well. And he buys enough time here, Alfia, to kind of, you know, delay. And you can see Navi, again, though, you know, very, very cautious in terms of entering the site. They're still waiting for this flood to come in. They're still waiting, you know, they're just kind of all grouped up here, waiting for someone to come out of heaven or waiting for someone to come out of CT. And that actually does happen for them. You will see that as this smoke drops, Chronicle will give them a fight, essentially. But now the problem for Navi is the situation they find themselves in, if we pause the map just here, is we've got 1, 2, 3 people pinching on this area, right? So by having Alfia just in on the site this time for Fnatic, it changes all of this where you can't just stick around in this kind of area because now there's too many angles to fight, right? Like if it's just heaven and if it's just CT, you know, you get one kill and then you can focus on the other and then maybe you're fine. But not when there's another angle as well. Not when you have to look all 3 different directions. It's just not going to work for you, and we'll see now that it didn't work for Navi this time.
Coming through, but now very cautious about this approach. Zipan has found an opener though. Alpha will respond.
Unpressured as well. The bailouts here in time. Alpha got to breathe. He had that freedom. The secondary layer to this was very disconnected from Navi. They haven't really seen it on an island there. And no value found. Zipan so low. He's probably not going to be able to make much of this. Rifle soon to be ripped away. And a little bit further of a gap to be made for Fnatic, making it up to 6 in just a moment's time. But Alpha doesn't need help in these scenarios.
No, and the other thing to know as well, with Navi's lack of focus towards heaven, I actually think they're realizing how much value Alpha's getting off his camera.
And after 4 A hits in a row, things were getting a little bit weird. But the 5th one truly turned into full bizarre chaos, as we will see in this round. So again, it's just going to be another straight A hit, and you see that Fnatic this time have kind of settled on this idea of having Alfia in this kind of position on towards site, so that again they can go for this kind of fast flood and you know, with 3 different angles, pinch on all the players in towards this A site here from Navi. But this time, they're going to be forced to kind of retreat from that because Angel has a Euro ult. And so as this Euro ult is coming in, obviously Alfia now, for knowing he's going to get revealed and he's going to be seen, decides that he does have to leave this time. He can't really stay with the Euro ult coming in on towards this A site. So he does have to leave. But again, we end up in this situation where Navi don't take towards heaven. And so Fnatic are once more ready to kind of go for a fast flood here. Zipan starts to tap the spike, okay? So he starts planting the spike at this point, but we're about to get a bombardment of utility coming in towards him as well. Chronicle's going to send in an Aftershock down here. We're going to get an Omen Flash coming in from Boaster as well. Durka's going to pop the Razor, and all of that combined forces Zipan to come off the plant here, because otherwise he would be very dead. And so you see there goes that Aftershock. You get the Razor just coming out here. You see that these guys are blind as well, Angel and Zipan. And CNET unfortunately can't quite updraft in time to get away from the Razor. But what's just happened is, well, Xiao was hiding here the whole time, and Angel has actually, whilst the Razor was going off, TP'd across here as well. And so Durka has ended up in front of 2 Navi players. Just like that. And so it's a very odd situation. The Cypher ult goes off as well here from Fnatic. So they see where these players are. Zipan then goes for a stun as he's trying to get the spike back down. Angel TP's back across there. Chronicle gets hit by this tripwire down towards ramp. He can't find it. He's going to get stunned by a trip. Not often you see that every day. And so the chaos continues. Then Xiao decides to ult. So Xiao was still back here. He then decides to ult over to B. I'm not sure if this was some kind of like fake ult or whatnot, or if he was... I honestly don't know what this ult was potentially doing. Just in the chaos, maybe he's trying to just escape, but he decides to cancel it. But in this time, and this is very bizarre, Alfia manages to get down here, and then Xiao cancels the ult, so he ends up sitting right next to him. Again, just a truly bizarre thing. And again, Zipan gets off the plant. He's currently planting right now, as you can see just here. So I guess maybe the timing of the Omen ult, if they wanted to try and fake that they were going B, but they already just tapped the spike, and they've seen where the Omen was. They probably don't think that the Omen had. It was a very wild, chaotic thing. And so, yeah, at this point, the round is just going absolutely bonkers, and it ended in kind of a bizarre way.
A little bit threatening, but still looking to see that go down here. Otherwise, there's going to be problems. Alpha starts mopping the floor with them. Alpha's a beast right now, and Sugetsu, you're on the wrong side of the map, mate.
A very, very bizarre round. You find basically everything they need to off of Angel's ultimate. Even at that point, the showstopper comes through, the smokes start to drop. They haven't got that kind of sustain to break line of sight long enough, but yeah, very, very strange. Navi not really finding many comfortable executes with this composition. And Fnatic actually showing a number of different approaches of how to stop it. So find a one on the way in, another as well.
15 HP now. And about the same amount of seconds. So, oh, no come way. On, Sugetsu. There's no way you even make it possible. Oof. Sigh of relief.
No round is ever lost when Sugetsu's alive. It just so happens it's Leo on the other side.